We welcome you to episode 65 of Battin and Chattin here at Eastern Observer alongside Denis Tuohy. I'm Brandon Natale. Now, before we get started, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube to be kept on everything Eastern Observer and most importantly, Battin and Chattin. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and wherever else podcasts can be found. What a nice Wednesday night it is here on Eastern Observer. And I know Dennis is not too thrilled right now with his
No,
Phoenix
I'm watching
Suns.
the stupid Phoenix Suns. They're my team, the team I support. I've been a fan since 2016, dark times when it was Eric Bledsoe, Devin Booker, Spit and Glue as the roster. And now I'm watching them lose to the stupid Clippers who are broken down. No Kawhi Leonard, just a bunch of okay role players with James Harden in the year 2024. Nobody on God's green earth thinks this is a sustainable team. And say that 10 times fast. This is sustainable. Wow. And I'm just like, I'm so done with this crap already. I know it's going to be a bad year. I'm done.
I'll
I
try being a
bought into
Jets
the
fan.
hype. I'm over this crap. Yeah. Why wouldn't we be able to not get a putback? There we go. More second chance points for the Clippers. We were beating them by 15 points right now at one point, Brandon. Now we're trailing by 3. Bradley Beal, he actually made a 3-pointer. I'm shocked. Whatever. This isn't buckets and banter. Defunct. So I could use that. This is Battin and Chattin. So we talk baseball here, and the World Series is set. My New York Yankees versus the Los Angeles Dodgers. I have my Don Mattingly jersey right over there. I don't know why I'm not wearing it.
Congratulations to the
What are you gonna do?
Congratulations to the Yankees making it, and congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers who played a good matchup against my New York Mets. What a great way! I know it's tough to watch the Mets go out the way they did, but hey, I think the fact that they made it here shows enough. And I'm very, like I know I said it last week, and very happy to have made it this far. I wish I could have went to a playoff game, but hey, life gets in the way. So, and I don't think it's going to be the last time we're going to see them in the playoffs. Like it's not like where they make the playoffs this year and then they're not going to make it for like another 10 years. Think they're going to stay very consistently good for years to come, hopefully. I know David Stearns had his end of the season press conference where they asked him, like, about financial flexibility. And he said that, they're going to be able to spend a lot more. They'll be able to have a lot more. They'll be able to have a lot more to spend as they go. Got to bring it up real quick. This, I know they asked about, Jesse Winker, where they said he would want to come, and he said he liked the energy he brought. He appreciates it, and he said they'll stay in touch. But yeah, no, they basically were saying, like, the reporters were asking him, like, you have this more, financial flexibility now than you did last year. Like, when they basically asked him, like, what are you going to do? And I think David Stearns was saying something like, definitely going to take advantage of that. When asked about it, David Stearns said the entirety of the player universe is potentially accessible to us. That's an enormous opportunity. And from Mike Mayer, reads out David Stern's quote saying, "We got financial flexibility. It means that pretty much the entirety of the player, yep, yeah, accessible to us. I envision is us taking advantage of that opportunity. I obviously when he's looking at that, that's either whether it's going to be Juan Soto, Corbin Burns, maybe I didn't know Jack Flaherty was a free agent. I would definitely take a look at him, especially after seeing how he was in the playoffs. He had a great game 1, not so much of a game 5, but either way, still looks like he could be dominant, and I would definitely take him on the team. I know he gave a message to Met fans at the end. I didn't watch that, but so a lot of questions whether to ask, but we'll dive into it more in the show. Um, credit to the Dodgers. They had a great I think who would have known Shohei was kind of that missing piece for them. All they without the amounts of talent that team has. I know I said it last week, and I'm gonna say it again. Who would have known Shohei uh was the guy that the missing piece, the missing link that they needed to get them over that hump. It wasn't Mookie Betts. It wasn't Freddie Freeman. It wasn't Max Muncy. It wasn't Walker Bueller or Freddie Freeman or Will Smith or any other Dodger player. Not even Teoscar Hernandez. It was Shohei Ohtani. But like you said, I know you said it last week. The Dodgers are not scrubs. They're actually really good players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, like they're led by Dave Roberts, a great manager, and they showed out. And who's the outfielder? Pages.
Yeah, Pajes.
Pages. Yeah, he had a good series. So credit to the Dodgers. They came, they played, they dominated. They show why they are the team they are, and the Dodgers. And so I think it's going to be interesting to see how they play up against the Yankees. Now, if Juan Soto didn't solidify himself, it's going to be an interesting offseason because I feel like if he would have lost right there, I don't know. I don't think if he would have lost right there, that would have made the guarantee that like, hey, he's not going to be. He's not. It's not guaranteed he's going to stay with the Yankees. I feel like after that walk off home run, how does he not stay with the Yankees? And I would love him to come to the Mets, but at the same time, like after that home run, how does Juan Soto leave? Because that home run in Game 5 was pretty clutch and so unexpected. I thought it was. I don't know. I just did not expect that at that moment at that time. Credit to the Guardians because they tried to put up a good fight. They tried to come back, but at the end, the Yankees just showed they were the better team, and that's why they're in the World Series. David Fry, that was a nice walk off in Game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Jansky Noel, Big Christmas.
yeah, I know we talked about that.
I,
Judge has actually been showing up. He's not a ghost of his. He's actually like I feel like this like recently in the beginning of the postseason he was very questionable, but I feel like now he's done a better job. And Stanton actually I feel like has actually been hitting, and you know, so yeah, no, I feel like the Yankees definitely have a good team together to play in the World Series, and I think it's going to be a good World Series. Credit to Luke Weaver. Did you see my text today?
I did see that people are betting on Luke Weaver to
We're
win
not
the
going to
World
say
Series
who
MVP.
because we do kind of know them, but
I looked at Caesars. I didn't see even any bet for World Series MVP. I was going to put some money on Stanton. I was going to put some other money on Kike Hernandez.
that's a good one.
Kind of hedge. That way, if one of them wins. But yeah, hey, the Suns tied it.
There you go. But like we say on the show, if you're gonna gamble, please gamble responsibly.
Yeah.
Or else, you know. But Dennis, what do you think of this matchup? Yankees and Dodgers throwing it back to the last time they played together was 1981, if I'm correct.
Yeah. And we'll be talking about that later on. Obviously, sad times in Dodgerland as Fernando Valenzuela passed away. And he was the biggest reason they won that year. So, I mean, as a rookie, that was like his defining moment was 1981 and just like dominating the Yankees in the World Series. But yeah, it's been a long time, and I think people forget that this used to be the rivalry in baseball.
Yeah, I know.
The back in the olden days.
The Yankees won 8 out of their 11 matchups.
Yeah. So I mean, like obviously the Yankees by that metric would be favored in air quotes, but you never know. Like Giancarlo Stanton has had a great career at Dodger Stadium. The stats are absurd. Shohei Ohtani has been phenomenal at Yankee Stadium. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is lineup wise, I'd say it is pretty even. I would give the edge to the Dodgers. I mean, they have 3 of the 5 best players in the league.
Right.
And Freeman, Betts, and Ohtani. And listen, I don't care what other stats and metrics say. I don't care. Those 3, Soto and Judge. I don't care what order you have. Those are the 5 best hitters in baseball. I don't want to hear it about anybody else. I don't want to hear it. So, what are you going to do? But
right, yeah.
Along with them, you have Max Muncy, who's a very disciplined hitter. You have Kike Hernandez, who it's hard to quantify like the clutch factor. It's hard to quantify the intangibles of the game, right? In air quotes. But that guy has it. He has that X factor. He's just been phenomenal. And Tommy Edman, Like a contact slap hitter, utility man who's been used as like a bunt machine when he was on the Cardinals is batting cleanup for them and won the NLCS MVP
Yeah,
pretty handedly. So think about the talent on that roster, and none of those three were the best player against the Mets. It was Tommy Edman.
yeah. No time. I mean,
That
yeah, he
says
had
a
a good
lot.
field.
Walker Bueller seemed to finally kind of get his groove back against you guys. Granted, and we could talk about this later on. We talked about it in the last. We actually talked about it in the last episode. I didn't agree at all with some of the managerial decisions
Yeah,
that
no,
was made specifically for that game, and not starting Jesse Winker. But it was still a blowout. So it's not like that would have made much of a difference anyway. Maybe it would have. Who knows? Momentum, whatever. However, it was just, it was something. Jack Flaherty, let's be honest, every other game, he looks like a totally different pitcher. To be fair, same thing with Carlos Rodon of the Yankees. So it's Garrett Cole from one, it's Jack Flaherty, Walker Bueller from the other. And then like they're kind of sidekicks. And they're going at it. The Dodger bullpen, their bullpen game strategy. I don't know how that's going to be going against the Yankees. They just went up against the best bullpen in baseball and humiliated them.
yeah,
So I don't know about that, if that's going to work or not. I would imagine the Yankees are going to be seeing a lot of left-handed pitching throughout much of the season. Statistically, they've struggled with it mightily. And yeah, I hope that the Yankees lineup stays hot coming into this series, because it's been a week, so it's been a long layoff, and that always kind of makes me a little worried.
yeah. No, it's definitely going to be very
Excited.
interesting. I think it's going to. I think it's a great World Series matchup. I think it would have been great if it was either Yankees Mets or Yankees Dodgers. I think no matter what, I think the matchup. I think it's great this year. I think the MLB could definitely take a huge W this year because the ratings and the viewership has gone way up. When people thought that baseball was a dying sport.
Real quick, let me ask you: Friday night is game one. Are us and the boys, are we going to squad up, go somewhere to watch the World Series? I'm off Saturday.
I'd say Saturday would be better night. Maybe a game two. I'm
Oh,
down. I can't Friday.
that
I
sucks.
would.
Saturday night's harder for me.
Right. It's
But you
true.
know what? We ball. We ball out.
Exactly. We do ball out.
I'll make it happen. I'll
Definitely.
the next morning.
Would you have? Would you? Let me look at. You're not interested in going to the World Series?
Oh, brother. I think that those prices, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. I got to be realistic here.
It's true. Hey, I mean, hey, at the same time, a World Series would be great, but money is important.
Why don't they make the extra pass, Brandon? How are we getting blown out? I'm the Suns. Guys, don't be a Suns fan. Don't raise your kid to be a Suns fan. Don't raise your freaking nephew to be a Suns fan. Stop. Just stop.
It. Just stop the count.
God.
Just stop it.
Tyus Jones and Mason Plumlee. They're going to save this mediocre team. Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's what, $1,400 a pop, if
Even
that.
Bleacher section is like $2,400.
Oh,
I hope there's these bleacher creatures, but actually think like if before they standing room alone is $1,500. It's I hope these people would think, no ticket. I'm not buying tickets.
Tickets are too much money. I would love to go. If I had the money, I would. I know a kid who deposited 2 whole paychecks. He budgeted his money. This was like July. He budgeted his money and set it aside specifically in case the Mets made it to the World Series.
I
should have been as forward thinking as my buddy Joe.
I was thinking of going Actually, yeah, no. If the Mets made it tour, I would have considered going. Me and my dad were looking into it, but it just maybe next year. Next year we will. If the Mets make it to the World Series next year or whenever, me and my dad will go. Knock on wood.
Yeah. I'm sure if I asked my dad, hey, do you feel like just dropping $3,000? Do you want to go? I'm sure that he would maybe think about it, but I don't think that's going anywhere.
Mm.
And I'm not trying to be maxing out the credit cards.
Yeah, no, but they're expensive, man. These events, it's crazy. So I wonder what the vibe is going to be like though at Yankee Stadium. Just
Oh, it's
like
gonna be raucous.
it's crazy. This is the first World Series the Yankees have been in 15 years.
Yeah, it's one of the longest droughts we've had.
Yeah,
The longest drought was before our first, so 1903 to what 21.
yeah, it's crazy. To Yankee fans, this is the drought.
It is wild, and I understand everybody's gonna say like Yankees fans are very ungrateful. We are a very
Yeah,
ungrateful fan base,
yeah, I agree.
definitely the most ungrateful fan base in sports.
I agree.
However, look at the Cowboys. For some reason, everybody's still obsessed with them. Look at the Bulls. I mean, for some reason, people are still like the Bulls are like a marquee team. It's like, no, they weren't. They're a marquee team for the Michael Jordan years, not a single other year.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot of
You know,
Bulls fans, honestly.
I actually do know some Bulls fans. I don't know. I don't work with any or whatever, but I see people wearing like Bulls stuff, and it's like, are you a Bulls fan or are you just a Michael Jordan fan? It's like, no, I root for the Bulls because of Michael Jordan. It's like, really weird. You're like
It's crazy
15.
how much Michael Jordan did for that franchise, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like before that, they were always like a pretty bad, mediocre team. Like they had guys, Jerry Sloan, Bob Love, like they had guys that could ball, but
Not Michael Jordan.
Orlando Woolridge, right? I think he was the only one of Jordan's teammates to score more points per game than Jordan in a season. Am I right on that? I might be right on that. Orlando Woolridge, it's like 83, 84. Reggie Diaz. Yeah. All right.
But either
I'm
way,
excited. I'm excited. It's been a long time, and I understand everybody, like you said, it's Yankees fans, for as much as our team does win, it's like weirdly doom and gloom a lot. It's like so reactionary. It's just so stupid. It's just passion. No, it's just being prickly. Like let's be honest. We're like a bunch of jerks as Yankees
some.
fans, or most of the fans.
I've talked to some Yankee fans.
I think I'm pretty level headed.
You're pretty. You're great. That's why whenever I go to Yankee Stadium, I always try to my best to like not get it because like I said, I'm not a Yankee fan. I'm a Mets fan, so I try to do my best to like just no trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you go to anything, you just don't want to cause any trouble. So I think it's annoying when they're in the bleachers section, they do the like dun 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 dun. Mets suck. Like the Mets aren't here.
I hate that so much.
They're not here. Like no, one day when I'm in the like I'm gonna say it. Like I'm just gonna go up in the crowd, and be like shit. I didn't know the Mets were here. I didn't know they were wearing blue and purple and black like the Rockies. I didn't know you got the Mets were here. And then I either might get some booze or and then I'll be like, yeah, that's right. Or I don't know. No one's gonna.
Yeah, I'm with you.
No one's gonna pay attention to me though. I would hope not. But no, I mean they are the Yankees. Like I said, they are a passionate. It's really some are really passionate, but like I said, some have never really seen the other 25 rings.
Quick story. My dad used to be an Islander fan, stopped rooting for the Islanders because he was at an Islander game and they announced that the Rangers lost and the whole place cheered. And he said, I'm never going to support a team with that kind of loser mentality.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This was like in the 80s or 90s. He was like, I'm just not doing that. That's just beneath me.
Wow.
It's like, wow. So he went back to being a Ranger fan. I was like, why did you flip flop your hockey team so much? He's like, I don't really care that much. He's like, when I was a little kid, he's like, I was a Habs fan. I was like, really? He's like, yeah.
Canadian Montreal?
Yeah. This was, I guess, in the 60s and early 70s.
I was gonna say I
Little
didn't. I
little
didn't sound too
Artie.
much. I didn't sound too much like that, did I?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Yeah, I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no, no,
say.
no. I'm completely with you. I'm completely with you. It's like the same thing, like being at a random Yankee game and people are starting like Astros suck chant or like F Altuve chants. It's like, hey, you know who doesn't do that? Winners. Are they doing that at Astros games? I don't think so. So I hate that. I'm with you. I'm
Yeah,
with
no,
you.
yeah, no. But like I said, no, like whenever I go to Yankee Stadium, I try my best to just, like, especially with you, like I don't ever want to just
But
spend
Mets fans do
any,
the same thing.
some, and
Every Mets game I go to, there's a Yankee sucks chant every single time. It's
I
like the
can't,
free space on a bingo card.
I don't ever. I think I've been doing it more recently. I don't, um, I don't, like I said, because I don't want to be a hypocrite. But I don't know. Like I haven't been to a game where, and I haven't been around people that have done it. So like the games we've been at, the games where we sat, like there's nobody saying, "Oh, like Yankees suck." Like so, no one says I'm not going to do it. Um, but either way, but I think the Yankees, just on a positive note, on their, I think some, I think are just really, passionate about the team, and I think they do take pride in the history that they do have, and you know, it's when people look at baseball, they look at two. I like to think they look at two teams: one, the Mets, and number two, the Yankees. You know, well, I
I
like to,
I think
or the Dodgers.
yeah, I'd say the two like most popular baseball teams probably the Yankees and Red Sox. Dodgers recently, but I don't know. Historically, I'd say Yankees, Red Sox, maybe. Yeah, but I don't know.
I
I don't
think
know. Cardinals have the second most World Series wins.
sure they do. I think it's also very interesting to see, the Yankees again in the World Series because I don't remember them much, back in '09. I don't remember much of '09 when they made it. I was
Right.
slowly getting into sports at that point in my life. I was, so I don't remember much of '09. But like I said, it was 15 years ago, so I feel like everyone's very. I like seeing the posts on TikTok where, and whether it's Mets or like there are some Mets ones where I would see people posting of them as a child back in the day with their grandparents, like loved ones that made them the reason why they're Mets fans or Yankee fans, and it kind of warms my heart, because like it's like I wish I could explain it better, but it's pretty cool, because shows like family moments for past relatives and obviously relatives alive today. So I like those moments. I think it's pretty cool because it shows how much people really how much sports really means to them, and how much they're so what I'm trying to say.
I do know what you're trying to say. Unfortunately, I can't necessarily relate because I was the only, my family were the only Yankees fans. We were the only Giants fans. I'm the only Suns fan, and I'm the only Devils fan. And and for the Yankees and Giants, my parents aren't big on taking pictures. Never really were.
So it's just you yourself and
So like, there's not really like a picture of like, oh, that's at the Yankee game. It doesn't happen. I wish we did because that would be fun. Did you see the picture of Anthony Volpe at the 2009 parade?
I did.
Yeah,
Good for the kid Volpe.
good for little Volpe. Yeah, and
Um,
good for grown Volpe because now he's playing in it
yeah, I think
15
it's pretty
years later.
cool. I think it's also cool for Stanton. I feel like because Stanton was been on
Oh
the
yeah,
team for a while. He's been through a lot with the team, so I think it's pretty cool to see Stanton finally get over that hump and finally make it to the World Series, and hopefully he contributes for the team. I think it's and he actually did contribute to them getting to the World Series, in my opinion. I think his bat kind of had a key factor.
definitely, 1000%.
You know,
And the other thing about Stanton is he's kind of playing for something more than just a Yankee validation. If he gets like people have been saying this is like a big hot topic on, you know, forums and whatnot of if Giancarlo Stanton gets to 500 home runs, is he a Hall of Famer? A lot of people say no. I think if he gets the ring this year, he has to be. He was the ALCS MVP. The postseason numbers are ridiculous. If he has an MVP, a league MVP from 2017, he had 59 home runs clean. I mean, if he gets to that magic number of 500, how are you going to justify him not being there?
He's
So
definitely
like,
paced.
he's playing for a lot. He's playing for a real lot. And he's shown in the
He's
past that he could carry a team for stretches. He just did it in the ALCS. I don't know if you'd necessarily say he carried the Yankees in the ALCS, but he certainly looked great. 2020, he was very good against Cleveland. 21, he was excellent against Boston. So, he's really good. He's really good. And if we have that, as well as how Soto has been playing, as well as Judge has been playing, I don't think English worked there, to be honest with you. Along with Judge, I think that's what I meant.
yeah, I know what you. Yeah,
And how well he's been playing as of late. Like, I don't see why not. Glaber's looked good too. Again, I'm really worried about the time we have off because we didn't look good to start the Cleveland series. The Kansas City series. We didn't look good right after the All-Star break. And a lot of times we don't look good at the start of the season. So having that time off always kind of makes me a little concerned with the Yankees. They're slow starters, especially after it took Judge so long to get dialed in.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So I'm very worried about that. I'm honestly kind of downplaying how worried I am about that. In reality, but who knows? Maybe the Dodgers have a hard time getting it going as well. They didn't look like world beaters when they played San Diego. San Diego mopped the floor at them to start that series. So it could be both teams are going to start it off as a rock fight, and that is what it
Yeah,
is.
and the best rock team wins, I guess.
Yeah, seriously. And
What about during the? But what
we'll
about
do.
during the regular season? I mean, tell me about that series. I feel like that series. I remember watching one of
Against the
the Sunday night
Dodgers,
game. The Sunday night game, I remember, was like back and forth, and then the Dodgers almost came back, but then Yankees closed it at the end.
I'll get it. I wonder if Aaron Judge is going to be playing with a little more attitude given how his season ended last year. Well, not ended, but kind of derailed. So the regular season, we only played 3 games. Dodgers won 2, we won 1. They won 2-1, 11-3, and then we won 6-4. Why don't we only play them? I don't know. Trying to figure out MLB scheduling. There's nothing but give me a headache. Too late to get a headache. So we only played them 3 times.
That was
All
it.
of which were at home.
You guys didn't go to. Well, I know last year you guys went away to.
We didn't go to Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Maybe that's for the better, right, Aaron? But
Yeah, maybe that's for the better for Aaron.
and I have some questions about parts of the roster. Anthony Rizzo looked horrific at first base. He had a lot of bad. He had a lot of bad balls. John Birdie, who hasn't played first base for more than like an inning or two in his MLB career, looked better at first base than Anthony Rizzo did in the playoffs so far. That's not good.
No, it's not.
However, Anthony Rizzo offensively has been pretty good considering he's playing with 2 broken fingers, which is way better than I could ever do. And I'll get his postseason stats up right now for you, so I'm not just speaking out of my rear end here. But I always forget he started off as a Padre, Anthony Rizzo. Go figure. So, per Baseball Reference, his postseason batting average, he batted .429 against Cleveland. 5 games, 16 plate appearances, 14 at-bats because he had some walks. He had 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 4 RBIs, 1 homer. I don't even remember him having a homer. 3 hits, 2 runs scored. Oh, it's because I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. I was like, I don't remember any of this. Should I be saying that out loud? I don't know. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 6 hits, 1 double, 1 run scored. All right. He looked good. He didn't look lost. And you know how he is. He always grinds out at bats. So they have to keep him in the lineup. But at the same time, too, it's like defensively, he's been so bad. Yeah, the good thing is about that extended time off, Because what, Sunday? Sunday was the last game of the NLCS, yeah? So
Yeah,
having that time off, maybe now he's healthier. Maybe now he's feeling better. Maybe now defensively he's going to be back to what we expect. We expect, a gold glove caliber first baseman. He's been a gold glove caliber first baseman his whole career. So for him to be a liability, which he was, that's troubling.
yeah,
Especially when we have guys on our roster who can play first base, like Oswaldo Cabrera and evidently John Birdie. So I'm curious. I'm curious how it's going to shake up. Nestor Cortez Jr. should be back. They're going to be using him out of the bullpen, supposedly. So,
no, but I definitely, like I said, I want to, like I said, um, I'm a diehard Mets fan, but I'm also a big baseball fan, so I gotta talk both sides at the same time. So when I'm putting my baseball cap on, I gotta say, credit to the Yankees for getting this far, getting to the World Series. They got a great team, so hopefully they play a good World Series, and so the Dodgers. Dodgers, they look good too. I think it's definitely going to be interesting to see how So yeah, no, I wish both of them luck. I'm interested to see how Shohei does because this is his first World Series, and after playing in Anaheim, for the Angels for so long, and now he's playing for the Dodgers. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it fares, and especially it's a good matchup. Everyone was so excited for the Judge and Otani sweepstakes versus Otani.
yeah. I mean, you have the two best hitters in the league going at it. This is how I'm going to get the stat up for us. It hasn't often happened. Hold on.
You good?
Getting it up. I should have had it up sooner. Okay. This is the first time since 1976 that the two MVPs and the two top records in the AL and NL will face off in the World Series. The only time in the wild card era the AL and NL MVP met in the World Series prior to this was in 2012 when the Giants played the Detroit Tigers. Obviously, with the the Giants winning in 4. And this is the 6th World Series between each league's home run leader. This is going to be interesting. 1956, Mickey Mantle and Duke Snider. That was the last time it happened. Yankee and a Dodger.
Yeah.
1937, Joe DiMaggio and Mel Ott. I think he was a Tiger, if I'm not mistaken. I always forget that one. It might have been a Pirate. I don't know. 1936, Lou Gehrig, Mel Ott. 1928, Babe Ruth, Jim Bottomley. 1921, George Kelly and Babe Ruth. So all Yankees prior to this. And in those World Series, how did the Yankees fare? I know that's what you're all wondering. So let's find out. Because that's not in this stat. That would have made it way easier for me, to be honest with you. New York Yankees. Where is the Wikipedia for the New York Yankees? Help me out here. Thank you. Phone a friend. All right. We are 1921. Ooh, we didn't win that one. We didn't win that one. So we're 0 and 1. 1928. 1 and 1.
Is the
1936.
first? Wait,
2 and 1.
you looking up the World Series matchups?
Yeah. 3 and 1. And then 56. 4 and 1. So, yeah. The Yankees are 4 and 1 when their home run leader, when they have the home run leader going up against the National League home run leader in the World Series. Pretty neat. Has nothing to do with the series at all, but it's kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe we could have some voodoo magic. I don't know. Like my fantasy football teams, Brandon.
I know. I feel that. What are the other matchups like? Dodgers, Yankees.
Oh, that wasn't Dodgers Yankees. That was just all the times the
I want
home
to take
run
a look.
leader of each league has played each other in the World Series.
Oh, right, right.
So, but the Yankees are 4 and 1 when that happens. Kind of neat.
Definitely want to look at the matchups. Let's look at that quick because, like I said, it's a pretty big rivalry. This was, like you said, the Yankees World Series history. Let's look at the World Series history. Thank you, MLB.com. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Okay, here it is. So the first one was in '81. First two games, Yankee Stadium. Dodgers won 4-2. Was this the last time they were in the playoffs before they made it to they finally made it in '95 then '96?
Yeah.
That's a big drought. As
Mm-hmm.
he talks about Fernando for Venezuela, rest in peace. Talk about him later. '78, Dodgers jumped 2-0.
What a game for Pedro Guerrero. 3 for 5 with a homer, a triple, and 5 RBIs. Have yourself a day, champ.
In 77. And in '63, the Dodgers swept. It's when Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale led the Dodgers to sweep over the Yankees. And Koufax earned MVP honors. Drysdale also threw a shutout in Game 3. The Yankees won in '56 for the second straight year. The home team won each of the first 6 games. The Yankees rolled the Brooklyn's Ebbets Field in Game 7 before 4 RBI performances by Yogi Berra and Bill Skroin. Berra hit a pair of homers. It's crazy, man. I feel like not a lot of people talk about Yogi Berra enough.
10 World Series rings for Yogi Berra.
Yeah.
10. Want to talk about unbreakable records? I can't believe that's ever even called a foul that we had to challenge. Yeah, and we had the only perfect game in postseason history in the World Series. Don Larson. Stand him up,
crazy.
knock him down. Way to go, kid.
Yeah, that was in '56. In '55, the Dodgers won 4-3. The home team won each of the first 6 games. Dodgers bucked up the trend, 2-0 victory at Yankee Stadium. Gale Hodges drove in the run. It's when the Dodgers won against, I believe that was Jackie Robinson's first and only ring.
Does that say that? I think that's obviously the famous Jackie Robinson stealing home.
I believe so, yeah. I mean, this when Gil Hodges was playing before he became famous manager of the Mets. Billy Martin put together 53. Yankees won 4-2. Billy Martin put together a remarkable series, going 12 for 24 with 2 homers, 2 triples, 8 RBIs, and a 1.478 OPS plus in the 6-game series. That's pretty remarkable.
Mama, there goes that man. And yes, you were right. 1955 was Jackie Robinson's only ring.
Thank you.
Good job by you, buddy.
I appreciate it. And in 1952, Yankees won 4-3. Dodgers homers by Jackie Robinson, Duke Schneider, and Pee Wee Reese.
Pee Wee Reese was a bucket. Shortstop. Turned a lot of double plays with Jackie Robinson. Hell of a tandem. Yeah.
Man, I wish I got to visit Ebbets Field. It's legendary ballparks.
I wish I got to play there. Playing first base with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Denny! Hey!
And in 1949, the Yankees won 4-1. It's when Yogi Berra went 1 for 16. Joe DiMaggio went 2 for 18. But apparently his homer came in clutch in Game 5. In 1947, the Yankees won 4-3. 1941, during World War II, actually, my apologies, the Yankees won 4-1. And that's basically it. So 1941, that was when they first played together. They've been the World Series.
Red Ruffing, there's another bucket right there. Dude was a beast. He has like almost, if he's up there on a lot of the Yankees pitching stats, like franchise leaderboards, he's on a lot of those. He's high up.
Who's that?
Red Ruffing.
Really?
Yeah. Yankees pitcher, I guess, in like the 30s and 40s, maybe the 20s as well.
Red Ruffin. How do you spell his name?
Exactly how it sounds. RED
I found it.
RUFFING.
Oh my god, it looks it's definitely old as dirt.
That's a little rude to Red, but yes.
My apologies, Red, for one of the famous pitch, six-time World Series champion and in the Hall of Fame. My God, he played from 1924 to 1947. That's crazy. And he didn't play in 43 and 44 due to military service.
It was a different time.
Definitely a different time. Played for the Red Sox.
He was okay on the Red Sox, man. He found his groove with the Yankees, and at the age of 34, had one of his best seasons.
What's that?
He had a 2.93 ERA, 21 wins, 200 95 strikeouts. Different world. A different world. 95 strikeouts at the 291 ERA. You're not in Kansas anymore, Dennis. That's for certain.
That is definitely for certain.
So
But
who do you got? Who are you rooting for? Are you
I
rooting
would,
for the Yankees because you're a New Yorker and your homies are New Yorkers, or are you rooting for the Dodgers because you hate the Yankees? Because I know a lot of I know Met fans are kind of back and forth. I know some that are rooting for the Yankees, some that are rooting for the Dodgers. Honestly, I feel like if you're a New Yorker, you got to root for the New York team.
that's your opinion. Everyone is America, and everybody has a right to the freedom of speech and opinion. Um, I know it's definitely very conflicting, back and forth. You know, the Yankees, they're both very good teams. I got the Dodgers in 6. I just think the Dodgers are. I think this is their year. Yankees had a great run. They've made it this far. I think they're going to put up a good fight. I'm not saying they're going to go down, get swept. They're not going to back down easily. I think the Yankees are going to put together a good series. I think the Dodgers, they came ready to play. You saw how they were against the Mets. They're not no joke. And I think the Yankees are definitely ready to. I think the Dodgers. I think they're going to have a good game, and I think Otani's going to win the MVP. It's set. It's written in stone. I saw the script. It's bound to happen. So I got the Dodgers in 6. To say I'm rooting for, it's definitely conflicting because, like, at the same time, do I want to root for my crosstown rival, or do I want to root for the guy that, for the team, the person that beat me? Um, it's like rooting for the person that like got the job ahead of you. Well, actually, no, that sounds pretty toxic. I don't want to say that. Um, it's like rooting for the person that cut in front of you in line, or something like that. I don't know. I can't think of a good synonym or a simile to think of it, but you know what I mean.
It's like rooting. It's like a girl breaks up with you or runs around on you behind your back, and then you got to like be like, "Hey, you know what? That guy's a good guy."
Yeah, no,
That's
that's it.
exactly what it's
Yeah,
like.
yeah. Like, oh, hey, yeah, he's a good guy, anyways.
And when I put it that way, you're like, you know what, Dennis? That you're right. That is really stupid to take solace in coming in second place.
So I don't know. It's definitely very conflicting. I won't say it on the air, but I'll definitely say that. Yeah, no, I got me. I got the Dodgers in 6. That's just my prediction.
You're not going to say it on the air. Who are you rooting for?
Well, it's clear who you're rooting for. You're a Yankee fan, so what
Yeah.
do
Who are you rooting for? I want to know. The fans want to know. The listeners want to know. The viewers want to know. The people want to know.
I have to say, and nothing, like I said, nothing against the Yankees, but it's a lot against the Yankees. I'm rooting for the Dodgers.
You're dead to me.
I'm sorry. Come on.
Okay.
Like I said, and I just, like I said, I like Otani. I think they got a good team. I just think they're a good matchup, and I just think they got a lot to show for it. They're gonna put up a good fight, and that's why I got them in 6. Um, you know, they played a good, they played fair. They came, they showed up. I'm sorry, I know, but I just don't know if I can be able to deal with the Yankee fans bragging about another ring, and then especially whenever I'm out or I talk about them, like, oh, look at the Mets. Like, why do we have to compare? Why do we have to compare? Just enjoy the greatness,
Yeah,
you
but
know?
imagine how obnoxious the Yankee fans are going to be if we lose. They're going to be even more obnoxious. You know that.
I can deal with
Get
it.
rid of Boone. Aaron Judge is overpaid. Stanton's a bum. I don't even care Soto. I don't even want to sign Soto back.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't
It's
think
so
I don't
annoying.
want to. I don't want to sign
It's
so.
way
But I
too
don't think the thing
annoying.
is, I think Boone definitely gets another year. I don't think he's going to get fired. If they don't win
Can't
it,
fire a guy after he
if
goes
they
to the
fire
World
him, it's going to
Series.
be another bonehead move by Hal Steinbrenner.
Yeah, obviously.
Like the team, from my understanding, the team likes Aaron Boone. They play around him. They play for him. Why would you? Who would they hire? And why make that kind of move? So especially like I said, he got them to the World Series. So you know, if they win it, forget about it. He's gonna have another 5 years on this. You might as well give him a 5-year contract. Um, if you guys
I
definitely win it, Soto is definitely gonna stay a Yankee.
think you're right. I just can't believe you do this. You root against your own co-host. Crazy.
I listen, like I said, some Yankee fans would do the same. I'm not saying you would,
I
but I
rooted for you
know
guys in 15.
I know a lot of Yankee fans that would root against the Mets if they were in it.
Did I root for the Mets in 2015? I don't remember if I did. I didn't.
Wait, you just said you just said you did.
Think I rooted for the Mets. I think I was kind of just rooting for a good game, to be honest with you. Because the Royals, it's not like the Royals won yesterday. They last won in what, 82?
The Royals, no, they're 85, and then the Mets won it.
Right. So,
But who do you got? What do you think?
like, who's going to win it and what?
Yeah, and then MVP.
Yankees in 6. 6 is always
All
the
right.
safest bet. And I have to support my team. So, no Dodger jerseys for me. No Dodger jersey, no Dodger hat, nothing. Not until the series is over. Go Yankees.
Now, if they won it, would you go to the parade?
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So yesterday I wasn't feeling well, so I called out of work. If I knew I only had a 4-hour shift tomorrow, which I do, I would have called out tomorrow and gone to the New York Liberty Parade.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
their first championship. And they're the last of the original WNBA teams. They're one of the last 3 or 4. One of the last 4. Technically, it's 3 because the Utah Stars relocated to San Antonio. Now they're the Las Vegas Aces. Technically, come on, that doesn't count to me. But whatever. The other 2 are the Phoenix Mercury and the LA Sparks, obviously. And they won their championship. So I would have gone to the parade for the history of it. And I watched the final game. I watched some of the games for the WNBA.
Congratulations, no, congratulations to New
Congratulations
York
to the
Liberty.
Liberty.
Congratulations to them. I feel like the parade's gonna be fun. So I think it's cool they're getting a parade. Like I mean,
I think
just
so
obviously
too.
any team wins a championship, they deserve to have a parade.
The first one since the Giants in New York. So good for them.
Yeah, it's like
But yeah, like I would have gone. If the Mets won the World Series, I would have gone.
yeah, I would have had you come with me and my pops.
Yeah. As far as hockey goes, no, I wouldn't go to an Islander parade or a Ranger parade unless the Islander parade was local.
I think the Islander parade would be pretty local. I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if it would be in the city. I believe when they had the parades back in the day, I think they had it on Hampstead Turnpike.
That just sounds like a nightmare to me, but yeah, I think you're right. I've heard that before.
I gotta ask my dad. My dad would tell me.
The traffic on that just sounds horrific. The traffic on Hempstead Turnpike in that part of town is already horrific. Yuck.
Well, forget about it. But didn't you say that the Devils had the they used to have like a block party? I guess.
They didn't even have a parade. Yeah, you're right. It didn't even have a parade for one of their championships.
I wonder where they were.
It was a giant tailgate outside of the stadium.
That's pretty cool.
Different. I still don't recall why they didn't have a parade, an official parade.
Where would you have it? In Jersey?
I don't know. Maybe that's what the problem was. Now I have to look it up. I know this is usually a baseball show, but why didn't the Devils have a championship parade? It's going to be some stupid AI generated answer. Yeah, how did I know this was not a stupid? How did I know this was going to be a stupid answer? The New Jersey Devils were eliminated from the 2023-24 Stanley Cup playoffs and will not be having a championship parade. Thank you. Thanks for nothing. There really wasn't an answer for it. Yeah, they had a party in front of the Continental Airlines Arena. But you know what? Part of me does think that is kind of cooler than having a parade. I think the parades in New York are different than the parades somewhere else. Because the way New York is structured, you have the towering buildings and the perfect blocks, like the symmetrical blocks, that visually it looks stunning. And then you look at other championship parades, and honestly, they don't look half as good. There's the confetti falling from the towering buildings or whatever. It looks like in Star Wars. Did you ever watch the remastered Star Wars, and they have like the celebrations after the Empire is dethroned? And then you see like what it looks like on Bespin and Coruscant and whatnot. It looks a lot like that, but other places it's not like that. And I kind of like with like championship parades or really anything in sports, and I feel like we've kind of gotten away from this a little bit too much, despite the NBA forcing these stupid, hideous city jerseys on us all the time, is tie it to where you're from. Tie it to where you're from. Like I know this was just because it was COVID, but when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had like the boat parade, that's cool.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
It's unique. You know? The Guardians are named after the Guardian Bridge or whatever. The Guardians on one of their bridges. Like the monolith statues. Be cool if they had the parade on there. Kind of like an X-Men when Magneto takes his evil Brotherhood of Mutants across the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah. Am I saying that Cleveland people are evil? Not really. I'm not trying to.
But I feel like if the Yankees win, I feel like New York will go crazy.
LA would go crazy too, because this is their first legitimate championship since 2010. No, the Rams.
Well, the Rams won it a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And then
that wasn't COVID. Didn't stop that, right? No, the Buccaneers.
No, that was next year. Right. It was Buccaneers. Well, Bucks that was still legitimate.
No, but what I mean by that is like there's no parade for the Dodgers. There's no parade for the Lakers. There's no fans at their games. It was an illegitimate championship.
Yeah,
like, it was real, but like, come on.
I'm not
gonna be like one of those like, well, actually, I'm not counting the Lakers title. They really only have 16. I mean that like their fans couldn't enjoy it legitimately. You know what I'm saying? I think you get it.
I do.
So this would be, I guess, their second since 2010, and for the Dodgers, their first since 1988. So for them, they're going to be going bonkers. So who knows? I always like to see the parades. The Toronto Raptors parade when they won in 19 was gnarly. There's the plant guy. Remember that? Do you remember that? Yeah. The plant guy? He was trying to find Kawhi Leonard so he could give him a house plant.
I don't remember that now.
You don't remember that? The guy was completely hammered and was walking around like, like Target or something like that. They have like those big plants you can buy, like the fake plants, like the house plants, but the tall ones.
Yes.
Yeah. And the guy was walking around. This big jacked dude was walking around holding that like one of those plants, trying to find Kawhi Leonard to gift him the plant.
Really?
They're like, why? He's like, why not?
Why not?
He gave him the plan. I think he did. I think he handed it to him.
I was gonna say,
So
but I feel like we should take the time to talk about Fernando Valenzuela.
yeah, genuinely one of the most influential baseball players ever. That's not an exaggeration. I mean, he was kind of like Mexican Superman in baseball. He was kind of like a Latino Superman. Like statistically, and he was with the Dodgers broadcast for a long time, and he's got the no-hitter. Famously, Dave Stewart threw a no-hitter for the A's. I think he was on the A's at the time. And then this was before the game started. He throws a no-hitter. Fernando Valenzuela sees this on TV. All of his teammates said, "Whoa, could you imagine that? That's crazy." Fernando Valenzuela says, "Yeah, it's really cool to watch on TV, but now you guys are going to see one in person," and then did it.
Really?
Yeah, he
I never heard of
called
that.
his no-hitter.
That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. So just like a legend. He had the screwball. I mean, he 6-time All-Star, Gold Glover, 2-time Silver Slugger, Rookie of the Year, won the ring in 81, Cy Young Award winner. Kind of became a bit of a vagabond later on in his career, just bouncing from team to team. But, El Toro, he didn't play around. Led the league in wins 1 year, led the league in complete games 3 years, led the league in innings pitched, led the league in strikeouts, led the league twice in walks, led the league in earned runs.
So it's cool. He definitely was a pioneer for,
So
especially for the Spanish community for the baseball.
definitely, because this is something that people don't bring up a lot, which is that Chavez Ravine, where the Dodgers play, that was all houses. That was all houses. Like people lived there before that. It wasn't like some field. It wasn't some lot. It wasn't some former mall. People lived there and people were evicted so the Dodgers could build their stadium. Hugely controversial. It soured the community. It never really felt like the community around Dodger Stadium accepted it. And then they had a player who looked and sounded like them playing for them. It was a big Mexican population, and there was the player from Mexico off the boat, so to speak, and pitched for them, and didn't just pitch for them,
See.
dominated for the Dodgers in
Wow.
1981. I mean, one of the best. But I think he actually came up for a little bit, and then 81 was his first full year. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
he played 10 games in 80. Pitched well. He didn't allow a run. He allowed 2 runs. None of them were earned. They weren't starts. They were out of the pen. And then in 81, he has the 25 games started. 11 of them are complete games. I think he had a streak of 11 in a row. Just a beast. And he won Cy Young and Rookie of the Year in the same year, and Silver Slugger, and was an All-Star. Phenomenal year for him. And legitimized the Angels to that community. The Dodgers to that community. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Wow, I didn't realize he had that much of an impact.
Yeah. There's a really good documentary about it. I forgot if I watched it on ESPN or if it was on MLB Network one day, but I think it was called Fernando Mania. It's really good.
Fernando Mania, that's pretty cool.
That's what they were calling it.
I gotta look it up. I
They
gotta look
had
it up.
signs.
This definitely sounds pretty interesting.
And yeah, he had a no-hitter. No, stop with the cookies and the privacy. Leave me alone. I just want to see it. He threw it in 1990 against the St. Louis Cardinals, leading the Angels to a 6-0. I did it again, Brandon. What's wrong with me?
What's
Leading the
that?
Dodgers to a 6-0 victory. That was one of his worst years of his career. But he's also one of those what-if guys. That they just Tommy Lasorda is a legendary manager, but just always misused his starting pitching. Like Fernando Valenzuela's arm must have been rubber because the way he was just so overused. And then the same thing happened with Oral Hershiser.
Right.
I think he might have been off the Dodgers by that point, and I almost called them the Angels again. So, excellent player. I think he should be in the Hall of Fame for his impact on the sport.
You know how I feel. You know how we feel
Even
about the Hall of Fame. He easily, if someone like him should be in it, then he's got to be in it.
yeah, and you know, like what he did, like a lot of Mexican Americans who aren't from LA are Dodger fans because of him. He's like an very influential player. I remember when I saw Mexico versus Japan at the World Baseball Classic, and a lot of people are obviously wearing jerseys of current players. There's a lot of Fernando Valenzuela jerseys, typically from older fans, but there are a lot of Fernando Valenzuela jerseys.
So yeah, this is definitely pretty impactful in the community.
Yeah. So he will definitely be missed. And he passed away from, I believe it was liver cancer.
Ooh, rest of that's awful.
Yeah, at age 63.
Well, Fernando Valenzuela, what an impact he had on the community. May he rest in peace. But all right, I'm definitely excited for the World Series coming up, and I think that's it. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up?
No, nothing that I could really think of. I'm trying to see if maybe I missed anything. Oh, and shockingly, Jack Flaherty will start game 1 for the Dodgers. It's not going to be Walker Buehler.
Who's starting for you guys?
Garrett Cole.
Of course.
It's 2 California guys going at it at Dodger Stadium. That's interesting. I'm trying to see just in case we missed any news. And it doesn't seem really like there is anything huge. Aside from MLB wants to raise near Tampa area even if damaged Tropicana is unusable. So I guess they'll try to find I don't know if it's a minor league ballpark or something like that. I mean, it does make sense because there's the Grapefruit League and the Cactus League for the spring training. So like you have facilities in that region. Like it does just it is practical. Instead of having them play somewhere else.
Definitely hope it's safe. For sure. But yeah, I guess we'll discuss more of that later. We thank you for joining.
They're going to be losing ticket sales. Am I right?
We thank you for joining us on another edition of Battin, Chattin from my co-host Denis Tuohy and the entire Blackjack Media Group team. I'm Brandon Natale. Saying so long, and we'll see you next time. Let's go, Mets.
They're out.
It's true.
They're out. What do you? Let's go. What?
You know what I gotta say to that?